Hey, good morning. Richard Borston here with Gravel Driveway Recovery. And you're going to look at this driveway and probably wonder, what are they even doing? Why are they even touching this driveway? And I'll tell you why. It's because they had flooding coming into their garage, and we needed to repitch this driveway so that the water wasn't flowing into the garage. And while we were at it, we did the rest of this circle here, but they were very specific. They didn't want us to do it back to where that barn is that you see in the back. So this is what we're going to be focusing on today. It's a more technical one, so you're going to see just a lot of gravel getting dropped off. We're raking, we're grading, a lot of bucket work. And the reason for this, again, is so that that water doesn't flow into that garage that you're looking at right there. So stick with us here, and I'll talk you through what we're doing, what we're thinking, and why we're making the choices that we're making here along the way. Hopefully that'll help you with some of the ways that you look at your driveway and how you can see using gravel can fix some water problems that you might be having. All right, so here you can see we're dropping off our first load here, and that's because a lot of the water is coming from that driveway, the driveway entrance that you see off to the left. And so we're dropping this first load. You'll see that all we're using today is crush. For the most part, the reason why we chose that is because of the great condition of the driveway. There really wasn't anything wrong with the driveway itself. The condition of the driveway was actually really nice. I almost felt bad putting all this, doing all this work on it. But the problem is the driveway wasn't shaped correctly. Now I want you to notice how we're putting the gravel up high on that bank, and you'll see that we'll be lifting it. And what we're doing there is we're creating a slope to create some pitch to move it away, so that any water coming around that corner heading towards this concrete right here is actually going to move away. And they either wanted it coming into that central area there in the island, or that grass right there you see to the right, that's right in front of the house. And so you'll see my son in there doing a lot of the bucket work. He's our main skid steer operator, and always does a great job for us. Now, one of the benefits we have is we've got a tilt attachment that allows us to move the bucket and to change the pitch of the bucket so that we're not dictated by the angle of the slope that the machine is on, which is the alternative that we'd have. And so this way we can always make sure that we're pitching it in the correct way. And then you can see me here, he's dragging it and then we're pushing it up. And again, what we're trying to do is from that left side there, we're trying to move it away and move it towards that grass area. Now, of course, our trusty roller. As we're bringing this material in, we're wanting to compact it for two reasons. One is we want to make sure that after compaction, we're still get our grade and our pitches are still holding. Secondly, as we do our lifts, we want to make sure that it's staying compacted all the way through. That particular roller doesn't have an extreme amount of depth of penetration for compaction, and so we have to do smaller lifts and compact along the way in order to do that. Now here you can see the expertise of our trusted Rogers Group dump truck drivers. They always do a great job for us. We really appreciate them and have worked with so many over the past few years here. and you could see that he was just cruising right around and getting a great spread for us, which is always helpful. That allows us to have less machine time. There are times when we've got to dump, like you're seeing here, and there's times when we try to get them to spread. And the difference is that it just allows us to save some money on and wear and tear on the machine. If we can get them to spread it, great. And if we can't, then that's fine. Or if it doesn't make sense for them to, that's fine. And so you can see the power of this this roller here, the difference that it makes immediately, even on just the first pass. And we will usually do 2, 3, sometimes 4 passes, just depends. We can sense the feedback that we're getting from the ground and that vibration, and that'll tell us kind of where we're at in compaction. And here we're just doing some of those fine touches, just those little things that are going to aesthetically make it look better, as well as get it set for the right pitch, etc. So all that pitching that we did on the other section that is moving the water away from the garage, that's pretty much done now. And so now what we're doing is we're working on the rest of the driveway, making sure that everything is just right. As you can tell, when those trucks are spreading, especially as they're going through the corners, they're not going to be able to get all the outside or all the inside. Sometimes they just have to choose what they're going to be able to get. Sometimes, if it's particularly tight, they're just going to have to ride that outside edge, and then we have to pull it in. So you'll see us doing a lot of bucket work, raking work, etc. And here again, we're just bringing in some more to make sure that we've got the pitch just right. One of the nice things about this bucket is we can pick up some of it, tilt it, and let it just come off on one side or the other, and so that we can be more precise in where we drop it. And then again, here's our trusty roller, compacting away here, making sure that by the time we're done, and when this gravel dries after we're done, it's going to become hard, firm, durable, and will allow it to last for a lot longer, be more resistant to erosion, and help the water to sheet in the direction that we want it to sheet. You'll notice that my son is now on the rake. For whatever reason, we've always run things where he will do a lot of the bucket work, and then I'll end up doing the rolling. Some of that's because it's nice to get out of the machine and not sit for so long, and some of it's just that I like to roll it and make sure that everything's just right, and it allows me to get on the ground and make sure that the work that we did, the way that we laid the gravel, is now that it's compacted, is still holding, and we're getting the right shape and pitches, angles, etc. that we wanted to hit. Rolling isn't exactly a spectator sport, and it's not exactly something that a lot of guys like doing because you're just rolling back and forth and you're often doing it very slowly. But if you don't do it, you're opening yourself up way more to callbacks, and you're not going to get as good of a product. So if this is something that you're thinking of doing for yourself, I would highly recommend that you rent a roller and factor that into your costs. Just put it in your numbers, get it in your budget, and figure hey, I've got to rent a roller for the day or a couple days or whatever it is, that however big the project is, and to make sure that I get this finished correctly. If you don't use a roller, what's going to happen is you're going to let the traffic compact the gravel, and when you have the traffic compact the gravel, it's going to be very specific to just those areas that the weight of the vehicles are contacting the ground. And that is always a specific area. It's not going to be the broad area that you're seeing here. You can see some of the tracks of my skid steer here. All this area is compacted. It still leaves those tire tracks, and I hate those. So, hey, I want to thank you for being here, watching us, and hopefully you learned something. If it's helpful, feel free to subscribe, and we thank you for your time.